We got Ben this morning, LauRen, who says that I think he met somebody on Tinder. Hey, Ben.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Ben. So why do you want to be on Date 'em or Dump 'em? Typically, you go out on a date with somebody, it seems like it's going great, and then there's like a pink or a beige or a red flag. What's up with you?
Yeah, so I met this girl on Tinder. I was just kind of messing around. I hadn't been on in a while, but she was cute, and we matched, talked back and forth for a few days. I eventually asked her out, and we both work from home, so I suggested that we go out for lunch. She agreed. The date was a little slow, I'm not going to lie, but
Well, isn't that a sign already?
Right. If you're bored with her within the first 30 minutes, that should be the most exciting time, right?
well, I'll say she eventually warmed up,
Okay.
and it was good.
fair.
Like, at the end of it, I will say, like, I thought that it could potentially work. So we finished the meal, and then I went in for a hug, and she immediately backed away from me and was like, "Oh, I don't do hugs." And it just kind of threw me off a little. Like, I get personal space, but I don't know. She texted me a little bit later, and she said, "I'm just not a hugger." So she addressed it. But I've never come across anyone like this.
I don't know if that's such a big deal. I don't love to be touched. I mean, I'm okay with a hug, but I don't love them. My wife, on the other hand, she could hug somebody for about 2 hours.
But are you not emotionally available if you're not willing to hug someone? I don't know. It does seem a little strange to me. Now, maybe she's not into PDA on the first date, and
You know-
she's super conservative.
But is a hug considered PDA, really?
Well, not only that, but she said she texted you and said, "Sorry, I'm not a hugger." She didn't say, "Sorry, I'm just not. I'm just not going to do that on the first date. Like, I'm not going to hug on the 1st date." She didn't say that. She said, "I'm not a hugger." So,
Are you a kisser? Are you a moving furniture? Are you?
Yeah.
Is this going anywhere, or have you friend zoned me already?
Write this message back on Tinder, Ben, right now. How are you in the bedroom?
No,
No, I'm
don't
jo-
write that. Do not write that.
All right, what do you guys say? That's why Ben comes on Date 'em or Dump 'em, because he's like, the date was slow, then picked up a little bit, and I could see it working out. But she said she's not a hugger. Is that a red flag if someone's not a hugger? I'm not so sure. Not so sure that's a red flag. I mean, you're going to be closed off a little bit if you're not a hugger, I would think.
Yeah.
But if she's like, "Hey, I'm a hell of a kisser, just don't hug me,"
Yeah.
704-570-9595. Ben, we might have the quickest open and shut Date 'em or Dump 'em ever.
All right, I'm here for it.
I mean, like, if people say, yes, you should be back out with her again, you should go back out with her again, just don't hug her. Would you be okay with that? Dating somebody who just doesn't like to hug?
I mean, potentially. I think that she would hug me after a few days.
A while, yeah.
Never hug me?
Not if she's not a hugger.
I'm wondering, is this like, remember when Jerry Seinfeld was on the red carpet and Kesha tried to give him a hug?
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like, "No, thank you."
Yeah, she's like, "Please," and he's
Yeah.
like, "No." Somebody said since COVID, a lot of people have reset their physical boundaries. Not necessarily a red flag. Somebody else on the flip side says, "Dump her." And if there's chemistry, she would have wanted to hug him. And then she also texted you afterwards, right, Ben?
Yeah, she addressed it in a text later.
Double down
Yep.
and said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm just not a texter." Let's see. Someone says it's not going to work because the same reason. Like, if there was any kind of connection, she probably would have went for the hug. I'm not a hugger. It's just an excuse.
That's kind of where I'm vibing too, but
Lacey doesn't think so. Hey, Lacey, you're on with Ben.
Hi, good morning. I think that you should give her another chance because I have been married for 6 years, and I will literally freeze up if my husband wants a hug, especially in public. Like,
really?
I don't know if it maybe it's part of my OCD or something. I just don't like being closed in. If I don't initiate it first, please don't hug me.
Okay.
Interesting.
See? There you go, Ben. There's one that says dater. Cheyenne?
I genuinely believe that she could very well be an introverted person and just not really, like said before, it took a minute to warm up. So obviously she's a very
That's
shy
true.
person and doesn't really like physical touch all that much. So I honestly don't think that he should dump her. I think that he should keep seeing where it goes, and I think she'll eventually warm up and possibly hug him.
That's actually a really good point. The
Thanks,
fact
Cheyenne.
that she was a little shy and dry and like they weren't vibing at first and it took her a minute to warm up, maybe that's just her personality and that's what it takes.
I can't believe, Ben, how many people say that they're married or in happy relationships and they don't hug. They do everything else but.
I think everybody changed my mind. I think I'm going to say date her too.
I'm not a hugger, and my husband and I have been happily married for 11 years. It was weird for him at first, but he eventually got used to it. It's just not my thing. Somebody else says, I'm a major, major kisser. Love all the affections. Can't stand a hug. I don't know why. I just don't like it. Give her a chance. I'm also not a hugger, but I love my significant other. Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that say date.
Okay.
So when she kisses, be careful not to put your arms around her, LOL. Somebody texted in.
True.
You might get slapped. I don't know. Somebody says hugs is for third graders anyway. Who's hugging anymore? Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I don't know. I think Ben was doing the right thing by going in for a hug at the end of the first date, right? Like, thank you very much. Good to
Yeah.
see you.
Yeah, it was so nice to meet you.
You could even do that fake, like, kind of far away hug where it's
or
like,
the sidearm hug.
yeah.
But I think if you like went to go shake her hand, that's almost offensive. So I think you did the right thing, but you got to just vibe with her, like let her roll.
Somebody,
Okay.
this is it. This is
She
the last.
wants to hug you, she'll lead the way.
This is the last text. This is the definitive text. I've been married for 5 years. My husband and I, neither one of us like hugs, but the moving furniture is hot as can be. There you go.